The way we laid out the schedule was good. I'm happy. I don't think I'd be playing right now if I tried to go through that season. Shannon, are you buying that explanation from Kawhi?
I'm buying it. As a matter of fact, I'm overpaying for it. Yeah, Skip, I'm buying it. You should buy it too. Now you talking about I haven't heard him say anything. You heard it right from the corn-road horse's mouth. That I've been overcompensated and that I not taken the time off. Stop laughing.
I'm trying to picture a corn-road horse. I've seen some corn-road horses, actually.
Well, the corn-road
They actually braid it up.
Yes, they do.
So that was actually a good analogy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Had they not taken the steps that they took, there's no way Kawhi would have been here today. That just goes to show you, because he's favoring it. So those 22 games that he taken off, can you imagine? But it just goes to show you, Kawhi wanted to be somewhere where they trusted him. And Toronto, when he got there, here's a relationship that just started. Only thing they really knew about Kawhi is what they saw. But he got there and they trusted him. They believed that when Kawhi says, I'm hurt, I can't go, he couldn't go. And that's all he wanted from your San Antonio Spurs. The most conservative medical staff in all the world.
The most player-friendly medical staff in all the world.
Kawhi would say otherwise.
Most patient medical staff in all the world.
Kawhi Leonard would say otherwise. And they didn't do that. They didn't believe him. Here's a guy that was the Finals MVP. And then after that, he had just started to come into his own. First team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year. First team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Year. The next step that he could possibly take is to become a league MVP. And for some reason, Skip Bayless and the San Antonio Spurs thought Kawhi Leonard were dogging it. Wow. You also heard him in an article that they did, I think it was the Athletics, the article.
Yep.
He said, I never, ever envisioned being the guy that would take all these shots and be, getting 20 shots up, become to have the offense revolve around me. That guy quit? No. We'll talk about him a little later, talk about how hard he worked at San Diego State.
Hardest worker ever.
Diligent.
In the history of work, he's the hardest
You
worker.
know what's going to see why you gotta do hyperbole?
Tell me when it's my turn.
One more thing, Skip. The man said it. You could look at his eyes. I've seen the interview. He's dead serious. He's hurting. He said, but you know what? I'm gonna finish this thing off the right way. NBA champ. That's what's gonna really hurt you.
My turn. You couldn't really look in his eyes in the interview because he kept averting his eyes. He kept glancing down.
I looked at enough.
And any student of body language, You're
not a body language expert.
Yeah, I am.
You're a debate expert.
He couldn't lock eyes with Rachel Nichols and say it heart to heart. He's looking here and he's looking down. He's looking everywhere.
That's his nature, Skip.
This is all his nature. He told you everything in that interview you need to know about him. He is physically and mentally fragile. And I've told you that from the start. I told you that last year when he was sitting out those 73 games in San Antonio for my Spurs. But he is a shrewd operator. He does have a high basketball IQ. And he knows that he constantly needs to plant excuses. And if he can't get his Uncle Dennis to plant for him, or reporters who cover him to plant for him, he finally felt bold enough, because he's actually been doing some interviews for the first time in his life, that he said, I'll sit with Rachel Nichols and I'm going to plant the biggest excuse I can plant, because it's going to come from the corn-road horse's mouth. And I'm going to say on national TV via ESPN, I'm hurt. I'm playing hurt.
He is.
Physically, mental, fragile. And I've tried to explain this to you. He was so blessed to have been drafted by my San Antonio Spurs. And remember, he went 15th in the first round, and a lot of people didn't even have him going in the first round.
Okay.
It was a bolt out of the blue. R.C. Buford strikes again? Where did this come from? And he traded for the pick from Larry Bird, right? And he got back from Larry Bird, Davis Bertans, who led the league in three-point shooting. He did. He led it most of the year until the very end. So that was
George
pretty
Hill.
good.
That was the centerpiece.
George Hill. Okay, so George Hill went. We know his fate, because he's going to wind up a year ago, game one at Oracle. And LeBron said, he is so great.
I want to talk about it.
He is so great. I'm not going to take this shot. I want George to make those free throws. Way to go, LeBron.
Yeah, you're 80% free throw shooter.
Okay, so this guy, number 2, got to play in the shadow. This is the biggest shadow ever cast in this league of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, rings galore everywhere. 5 rings for Tim Duncan. And you got to play in that shadow for your first 5 years. And then you got to play in another shadow because they go out on the free agent market and they land the prize that year, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
And the next year they said, LaMarcus, it's your team. Here you go. And he spit that bit.
Yeah.
That horse. He wasn't a horse. He just spit the bit.
Exactly.
Okay. And so now we get into just a year ago, which was to be number 2's 7th season. And Pop says, it's your team. It's your town. It's your time here. And Chris Broussard, among other experts, is saying, I got that guy for MVP. And he spit that bit because he crumbled under the pressure to live it. That's the first time in his life where, oh my God, I'm in the spotlight.
First of all, Skip, he did not need Greg Popovich to tell him it was his team.
Oh.
The All-NBA and the Defensive Player of the Year told everybody that was his team. And we know, well, hold on. Why would you name someone, why would you say, LaMarcus, this is your team when he left Portland because he couldn't handle not being the guy?
Did not everybody on the market try for LaMarcus
Yes.
Aldridge? Did not every good team, big team, contending team?
Sometimes you don't know until you buy it.
Okay, all right. I agree with you on that point, but I don't agree with you on this point because it was 73 long games of him complaining about a thigh bruise.
He was hurt.
He was not hurt. And the medical staff, and I told you I spoke to one of the doctors, they just said, we can't find anything. So finally, on January 15th, they just publicly declare him ready for all basketball activity.
Don't do that, Skip.
You got to.
No, you don't.
At some point, he's making $20 million.
So?
You have to say, play. You got to play. We can't find anything wrong. Play. I got this.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you had Kawhi? That'd have been $20 million well spent if you had him in your organization right now.
He wanted out.
No, he didn't.
Uncle Dennis wanted him out. They want him in Los Angeles, maybe in New York or Brooklyn.
Skip, this is what happens. It eroded. Kawhi Leonard believes deep down inside the organization, be it Greg Popovich or R.C. Buford, someone sit Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili to have a players-only meeting and have him in the center of the ring. He believes that. Once that happened, it was never going to be the same. I remember.
But it was over by then. They played all year.
Okay, no.
Okay, now the playoffs are upon them.
So they got to do
And they think they're really good. And they just say, hey, are you with us or not?
No, I'm trying. I'm
probably
rehabbing.
didn't even answer.
I'm rehabbing. But if you notice.
Rehabbing what?
But look, here's the thing. Here's the difference. The only thing that was going through his mind is that the year previous, Isaiah Thomas had played through an injury, and it cost him. Now, whether he was going to get a supermax deal, a high max, let's just say for conservatively, Isaiah Thomas, the small Isaiah, not Zeke, the great Detroit Piston, was going to get $80 million. He's never going to get that money. Look at what Kawhi's doing right now. He's willing to play through injury because the team trusted him. Your team wouldn't do it, and he wouldn't play for him. That's the difference.
He took off 22 games this year.
Exactly.
And guess what? It was because of the same phantom injury that cost 73 games last year and cost my Spurs a run at the championship. And it was the same weird phantom, what is it exactly? But because Toronto is down on its knees, will you please stay with us? Will you commit long-term to us? Whatever you need, whatever load management, you got it. So now he's crediting his load management with even getting him to the postseason. But now it is switched because he's saying that the phantom injury, the bruised thigh, has now created compensation. So he's got left knee
tendonitis.
Whatever it is.
Tendonitis. You know what it is.
So every player on that floor has something wrong with them right now because we are deep into a long, long basketball season.
It's very
Andre Iguodala's got 5 things wrong with him.
Andre Iguodala's 73.
Does he need to plant excuses publicly? No, he does not.
Iggy is old. Sean Livingston's old.
So
Kawhi Leonard is not even 20. Is he 28 yet, Skip?
I don't know what he is. He's dead to me, so I don't even. But the point is, now he's saying publicly, I'm favoring it.
He is.
And again, in game 3 the other night, I saw no favoring.
I did.
I see Toronto favored right now to win it all, and yet he's still, quote unquote, favoring.
Yes.
And that Jordan Bell play, you brought it up yesterday. Maybe we should look at it again. Do we have that play?
on him.
Do we have that? Oh, here it is.
Look at it.
Oh, look, he's favoring it and one. It's a favoring
Look at him.
and
Look
one.
at him. Look at him. Look at him limping.
Explosion.
Skip, come on. Hold on.
Explosion.
Oh, yeah. No, watch what he does. Run that back. Watch him have to check his feet. Watch what he does. Oh, he has to check his feet. He did a double check. I know that. Skip, you watching it. Come on now.
Explosion.
Watch what he does. Look at that.
Explosion, 100% healthy.
Watch what he does, Skip.
Favoring?
People at home.
How did he get around Jordan Bell? Jordan Bell's got quick feet.
No, he don't.
Jordan Bell's like a little big man.
You remember he missed 2 rebounds in the Final Four. You remember that, Skip?
Yeah.
Oregon against Carolina.
I saw it.
I thought he had quick
it.
feet.
He's got really quick feet.
Well, he should have grabbed both of those rebounds then.
How did
Watch what he does. Watch him check
he
his
just
feet.
explode around him?
Come on, Skip. I don't know.
And
That's last night.
yeah, right. All I'm buying is that he's planted the biggest excuse
No, he didn't.
imaginable.
Skip, that man
And
is
it's good.
hurt.
It's great. I'm in awe. He's pulling it off. He can have it both ways now. If they fail, if he comes up small like he did in Game 2, I don't know how he got a pass for the fourth quarter of Game 2. I have no idea, but he got a pass because he's hurt. And so now, if they blow this and they're favored, I'm favoring. I'm favoring.
Let me ask you a question. If we were to poll the NBA players, how many of them you think would say Kawhi's hurt?
I have no idea. Are we going to poll the Spurs?
Yeah, you can poll them.
Oh, well, that's going to eat into that poll.
Not the front office.
Oh, no, I mean the players.
Guaranteed. 100%.
Are we going to poll Ginobili?
He don't play.
Okay, well, he knows what's going on here, I think.
Current NBA player.
Can we poll Duncan, please?
Man, Duncan got cornrow dreads now. and some big grandpa jeans in the Virgin Islands.
I think it looks cool, man.
No, but Duncan, no, we're not asking Duncan anything.